Hey peeps, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be sharing my September lookbook with you, and I know it's the middle towards end of October, but September was incredibly busy month for me, and I got most of what I wanted to do done, but I also expanded my shop, and so there was a good week of the month that was spent rearranging, moving stuff, bringing more stuff from home, like my fabric stash, that kind of stuff, into the new space. And it's looking amazing, but it's not quite finished yet, so I'm just waiting for a few more pieces, and then I will be doing a tour of my shop because I absolutely love how it's turned out. I'm really excited to share it with you. So without further ado, let's get straight into what I've been making. And first up, as you can probably tell, I finished the Chevron circle skirt slash dress that I wanted to make with the Brite Idea fabric. Now I had 5 meters of this fabric, and it turned out that that wasn't quite enough, so I went back and bought the final 1.5 meters that they had left in the shop, and thankfully I managed to squeeze all of the circle skirt panels out of that. And that's because I decided to do a 16 panel circle skirt because that just seemed like a good idea at the time, and I had to be really careful with the placement of the pattern pieces on the print to make sure that everything lined up, and I've done a pretty good job, even if I say so myself. I am going to insert a clip here of me doing a twirl for you outside, but I will also do some close-ups of the panels so that you can see the detail a little bit better. Yeah, this was a lot of fun to figure out, and then it was a little bit less fun when I realised that I had 16 panels to sew together. Yeah, I got to the point where I had about 4 panels left to go and realised that I'd miscalculated the waist measurement and the skirt was going to come up a little bit too big, so I had to go back and readjust all the seam allowance at the top of the skirt. So the seam allowance is actually quite large, but it's worked out really well, and I'm really pleased with how it's turned out. When it was going to be just a skirt, I'd actually made a chevron waistband as well, which looked amazing, but when I added the bodice part, the chevron on the waistband was the same kind of colour. It came up from there, and it ended up not quite meeting with these, and then because of the seam lines it didn't look right, so I decided to take the chevron waistband out and put in just straight lines of the yellow, and I think it's worked really well. I absolutely love this dress. I do stand out in a crowd. It's not remotely subtle. I also decided, rather than French seaming everything, I was going to use bias binding. Let's just make sure I'm not actually flashing you anything more than the underneath of the skirt. That's good. Yes, I was going to use bias binding on all of the seams, and I've used 8 different colours to kind of give it a rainbow effect. Again, I will show you some close-ups of the inside of the skirt as well. And I finished the actual hem with the rainbow prim binding, which I absolutely love. So yeah, I'm really pleased with how this one turned out. Moving on to the next one. So I'm not going to put the next one on here because it's a skirt and you're just going to not really see much of it, but I will insert a clip down here of me wearing it and giving you a twirl, and if I don't put it on I can show you guys the insides of this. So it's a black circle skirt made with some crepe that I got from Goldhawk Road while I was up there in February, and it's, you know, just a sort of a bog standard circle skirt, but I have used my rainbow bias binding on the inside and I love it. I am so pleased with this, which is ridiculous because nobody's going to see it apart from you guys. But yeah, this stuff is amazing. I love it, and I've been getting so many people going, "Ooh, that's nice, where'd that come from?" When I was using it in the shop. So yeah, I'm really pleased with how this one turned out. Haven't worn it as yet, so not sure how much a wardrobe staple it's going to be, so I'm glad it's only cheap crepe, because if this had been expensive stuff and I didn't wear it, then it would be depressing. So it's going to be a little experiment, see if this gets worn loads. If it does, then I'll invest in some really nice wool crepe and I will make myself another one in a really good fabric. So I said I was going to make or attempt to make 4 things for myself in September, and I actually only ended up making 3, and it ended up being the greeny goldy silk dress that fell by the wayside. And I did actually start on this by hand London map print Belladone dress first. I really shouldn't have. This dress fought me every single step of the way. I have made this style of dress 5 times now. I've never had a problem before. Haven't made it for about a year. The last time was my niece's bridesmaid's dress, and which went fine. For some reason everything went wrong with this one, and I put the panels on the back incorrectly. They should go down to the outside. On the pattern pieces, I'd taken the seam allowance off to allow for the bias binding to be a feature, but I hadn't taken it off of the neck portion of these back panels, so it didn't quite line up. I didn't look at the pattern piece to find out what I'd done. I just went, oh yeah, and so sewed it up correctly, aligned it at the neck, which meant that the armhole was out of whack, which I then trimmed the excess off the armhole, which was of course incorrect. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to order some more of this fabric. So I ordered some more of this fabric, and because I really wanted that, I'd already cut the skirt portion out and I really wanted the full skirt, and the fabric came, and it's not the same type of fabric. This is just like a quilting cotton. The other stuff was a linen cotton. It's the same print, but it's going to make an amazing bag, but it's not right for this. Don't mind the cat. And yeah, so I put this to the side while I was waiting for the fabric to turn up. The fabric didn't turn up. Decided I wasn't going to cut it out of the skirt. I was going to power through and just, you know, make the best of it with what I've got. Then decided that I wanted to try something different with the waistband, which actually has worked really well and looks lovely, but it's added so much bulk that it's incredibly difficult to get the zipper done up, because there is just so much bulk at the waist seams. So I actually haven't tried this on yet, and I don't know if it's going to fit. The other thing was, once I'd gotten to that point, I haven't hemmed this yet because I ran out of black bias binding, and so I've ordered some more of that so I can finish it. But in all honesty, I might have to take it apart and redo the bodice anyway, and I might even turn this into a skirt, because I love this fabric, but this just, it's completely my own fault. I was just like, yeah, I'm not going to read the instructions, it'll be fine. Yeah, not so much. But never mind, you live and you learn, and there is enough stuff in this bodice again to use for the inside of bags, so I think it's going to make a really, really nice bag if it doesn't work and if it doesn't fit me, which, given how difficult it is to zip up when it's not got anyone in it, yeah. I actually don't mind the back that way around. It's not ideal, I would prefer it the other way, but you know, you get the keyhole effect. Meh. We'll see. Not my proudest moment, but never mind. It's I won't make those mistakes again, basically, let's say. Yeah, so that was all the new stuff that I wanted to get done this month. The green silk dress will be happening, but I'm probably going to end up doing that in November, because the party I want to wear it for isn't until December anyway, so you know, I have time. So what else did I finish in September? I managed to get a couple of necessary clutch wallets finished, which I'll insert a photo of here. I also finished the ready-to-wear tunic that my friend had asked me to put the little skull lace inserts into. So again, I'll insert a picture of those here for you. And I finished the 2 regatta dresses that I was asked to make for the lovely Shirley and the very lovely Anthea, and that I will insert photos of those for you. Yeah. Gianna approves. They were a lot of fun to make, and I've also ended up making Anthea a matching bag which goes with them, which has got ninja foxes on the inside of the purse detail, so I'll just insert a couple of clips of those for you here as well. So yeah, very productive. The frock coat that I needed to make didn't quite get finished. I have got the muslin done, the muslin's been fitted, and now all I need to do is cut out the coat, but I'm just waiting for the lovely Mackenzie to decide what colour lining she would like. So that will be finished this month, as I think I said in my October fabric haul. So the UFOs, I didn't even touch the quilt, but I knew I wouldn't, and realistically I'm not sure that that's going to actually be able to be fitted in any time in the remainder of this year, but I will try because I would like to get that finished. It has been languishing for nearly 2 years now, so yeah, that needs finishing. But I did manage to get the buttonholes into my trench coat, and I ended up deciding that I was going to put sort of like 8 buttons on just the body part of it and leaving the skirt free, because the skirt's so full that I thought that that would look better. It's also got buttonhole buttons on the epaulets, on the wrist detail, and on the back flap there. Now, I practiced my buttonholes on my machine, as you're meant to, with the same thickness and interfacing that I'd used on this coat, and I'll insert a clip of, or a photo of what those buttonholes look like. And you know, there was a little bit of trial and error, but I ended up being really happy with how they came out. Started doing them on my machine on the actual coat, and it was a disaster, an absolute disaster, to the point where I decided that I was going to do them by hand. And I've never done hand worked buttonholes before, so that was a learning curve. I don't think they've come out too badly. When I make this again, it will have bound buttonholes, because as fiddly as they are, at least I know that I am in control of them messing up, and it's one of the sort of first things you do, not the last thing you do, so you haven't put all the work into the coat and then you bugger it up with buttonholes that just won't behave. So yeah, that's what I'm planning for my next one, because this was meant to be a muslin and a kind of like a trial run of how this pattern would fit and the things that I wanted to tweak about it. And for all that, I'm actually kind of happy with it, you know, like, first time making this, I'm not like over the moon, but I will wear this out. It's a very nice coat, it's a pretty colour. I've actually had an order for this from one of the ladies in the shop. So yeah, all in all, I'd say a pretty positive experience, and I will definitely have some new tips and tricks going forward in making the final article. So yeah, pleased with that. I really hope you've enjoyed seeing what I've been up to in September. I'm really sorry that it's quite so late into October that you're getting to see this. If you have enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, please subscribe, and I shall see you again very soon. Bye! Why is it so awkward every time I film? You don't care, you've just seen them. Shut up, Sean. What the stuff. Bleh. Like Rainbow Brights in here. I also managed to. Ooh, someone's not happy. Okay. Just on the bit. Why? Mother. I'm going to take this off so I can flash it back. Oh look, I'm like the world's brightest flasher. Oh dear, small things amuse me, hey.